Hey there, I'm Frank Daniels with Pilot Radio, and with me today is Ana Risano from the Pilot's Newsroom, bringing us the latest news in Moore County. And I decided that we should probably tell people that we're recording today, October 7th, at a little after 4:30.
Okay.
And what is the latest news in Moore County?
Well, currently I'm wrapping up a story about kind of local efforts to help those impacted by the hurricane out in the mountains. And that means I'm talking to a bunch of first responders and a couple of medical personnel who have been out there and providing relief in any way that they can.
And what are you hearing from them?
It's pretty similar across the board, just that it's way worse than you could have imagined. And there's a lot of need to get to folks who are harder to reach because so many roads are washed out. But there's also a pretty good amount of hope amongst the folks and who are out there and who are prepared to go back even. And yeah, they've said that the locals are hopeful, and yeah, it's just a matter of moving forward.
Well, I suppose that's good to hear. Hope can go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
What are they saying about the overarching effort, like the national effort, and how it's helping them, or how they're coordinating with the work that is already being done there?
Mm-hmm. I believe one of the folks that I spoke to had said that she's been in contact with Samaritan's Purse, along with some like National Guard and military who are out in Burnsville, which is just kind of northeast of Asheville, kind of way up there. And that is just kind of a team effort.
Anything really stick out to you? I mean, I suppose beyond the fact that it's really just a unthinkable and continues to, I mean, from what I've heard, and I think a lot of people have, mirrors what you just said already, is that it's worse than people could have imagined from the beginning, and it gets worse. People are still finding out that it's worse than they thought.
Yes. I mean, just along the lines of, I guess, human decency, human kindness. The Southern Pines police officer I spoke to, Marcus Rummel, he said that even though he was out there helping those in need and doing kind of security work, locals were going up to him and being like, "Hi, don't know who you are, but do you need anything? Do you need food? Do you need water?" Even though he arrived with his own food and water and was there to help them. So it's just kind of, it's almost sweet to see that kind of reaction, that people are just like, you're in this with us now.
Yeah.
We're going to help you as you help us.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people come together. I mean, it kind of echoes what we experienced here in the county after the power outage. Just people want to help people, and communities really can rally around them itself and each other in times of pressure and crisis.
Yep, exactly.
So you also said that you have a Southern Pines Town Council meeting coming up?
Yes, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, at 6 p.m. They have a couple items on their agenda, the main two being a couple of subdivision plans that are going to be court-like hearings. They're called quasi-judicial, which means that people have to be like experts to testify and be witnesses, and it's a little bit more complicated than a normal public hearing. But
okay, so and they had maybe we should kind of elaborate on that a little bit more, because they did have some meetings about the quasi-judicial nature of the hearings, and people questioned whether they should continue with quasi-judicial hearings for some of these meetings, or if it should be open to more public input. And they've continued with the quasi-judicial hearing.
for some,
Okay.
They have made it more accessible to the public for some types of projects that go forward. This is specific to a subdivision. I believe, I don't remember the code off the top of my head, the town codes and the changes that were made, but essentially with these, if they check all the boxes and there's no like undue harm to neighbors, it's gets an A-OK.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you said, anybody that speaks in front of the council is an expert in whatever field they are offering their opinion on, or the data that they've collected or can provide for the town council's decision-making process.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There will be like an attorney representing those presenting the project. And then there could be people like traffic engineers that talk about traffic impacts, environmental folks who can talk about environmental impacts, items like that. Those who put together the project are considered experts in it.
Mm-hmm. And they have to be invited by the council to speak. Is that correct? Or how do they?
You have to be sworn in to speak.
Okay.
And I think, you have to be sworn in to speak. And these went in front of the planning board last month, these subdivision proposals. And their residents got to kind of voice their opinion about them going up.
Okay. Well, we will hear what happens. Mm-hmm. And as with any of your stories, you can read more in your reporting on the pilot.com and in the paper. Were there, I guess we should have spoken about this after our first discussion, but was there anything, if people want to help, do we have anywhere to point them to? I know Samaritan's Purse is a good one because they've been on the ground kind of since the early days, and so I know they're helping get money where it's needed and helping distribute items where they're needed. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I mentioned that one in my story. And I guess if people know and can and trust very specific like nonprofits that are on the ground out there. I went to school out there, so I know a bunch of nonprofits that are on the ground and helping folks. If there are any trusted ones that people know of, they can reach out to them. But I think money donations are always welcome because then groups can buy exactly what is needed for their area.
Right. Yeah. And getting it to, it's certainly an individual if you know an individual that can help, but getting it to someone who can then allocate it as needed. Mm-hmm. And I know there will be ongoing efforts. So if somebody's not ready financially or able to contribute now, I know there will be opportunities down the line. Mm-hmm.
This will be months in the making. Yeah.
Probably years, I think. Mm-hmm. So thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. If you want to send us feedback, please do so to frank@pilot-radio.com or Anna@thepilot, ANA@thepilot.com. And we will be back tomorrow with Laura Douglas and back with you again next Monday.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.